Who is the all-time rom-com queen, Julia Roberts or Sandra Bullock? Who is better at showing us the meaning of true love?
I just want your extra time and your kiss.
Here's our round-by-round breakdown. Round number 1 is box office. Round number 2 is Tomatometer. Round number 3, going the distance. And we'll have a wild card round. Then you, dear viewer, you will determine our winner. Both are worthy, but only one shall wear the crown.
I think she's a natural redhead.
Round 1, box office. Julia Roberts made the most of her head start on Sandra Bullock, as her highest grossing rom-com flick, adjusted for inflation, is of course Pretty Woman, the movie that taught every young lady to dream big and promised every rich guy that love could be outside on Hollywood Boulevard. It's still her highest grossing hit, period. By contrast, Sandra put up impressive numbers with her biggest rom-com film, The Proposal. However, her all-time hit in any genre is the decidedly unromantic Gravity. It's kind of sort of romantic. It's a love letter to space, I guess. Comedy? Yeah, no. Julia has the numbers ever in her favor. All her movies have grossed a combined $8.8 billion to Sandra's impressive total of $5.7 billion. And in the specific world of rom-coms, Julia wins again with a total of $4.4 billion to Sandra's $2 billion. How much was Richard Gere's net worth in Pretty Woman?
An obscene amount of money.
Anybody?
How obscene an amount of money were you talking about? Just profane or really offensive?
Really offensive.
I like him so much.
Julia also wins the per romantic movie average, with her Love Fest doing $261 million at the worldwide box office on average. Sandra's is nice at $168 million, but no Julia. So if you ask me who has the hotter career right now, at this exact moment, maybe I'd take Sandra. But we're going on all-time numerals here, and so Julia Roberts, you win this round, and you're in the early lead.
Well done!
Round 2, the Tomatometer. These ladies are stars for many reasons, not the least of which is when they commit to a role, they deliver. Each one has an Academy Award on their shelf. Neither one won for a rom-com, though. What the... And they have some impressive films that rank high in the Tomatometer. Julia's best effort is a tie between Wonder and Erin Brockovich at 84%, and her highest romantic comedy is Notting Hill with 83%. And I'll also toss in that Julia Roberts does have that current streaming series Homecoming. It's certified fresh at 98%. But that's not quite in the romantic genre. It's not a homecoming dance. I do not believe it's not a homecoming dance.
Big mistake. Big. Huge.
Sandra has the highest ranked movie of either entertainer with Gravity. That's an out of this world. Get it? 96%. And her best effort in the world of rom-com was not The Proposal. No, it was the film that made her a contender in the first place, While You Were Sleeping. Remember that movie? She pretends to be the fiancée of a guy in a coma, and then she really ends up liking his brother, who would go on to be the best movie president ever, Bill Pullman. Now that may sound crazy, but Sandra Bullock made us buy it, so that's why it's 80% on the Tomatometer.
Oh God, you smell good.
But the whole picture of the Tomatometer isn't quite as rosy. Julia Roberts' average of all of her romantic comedies on the Tomatometer is 46.5%. Huh? And it's even rougher for poor Sandy. Her average is 31%.
I'm fine. I'm cool. I'm good.
I, for the life of me, can't imagine a movie so bad it weighs down classics like While You Were Sleeping and Oh, wait. All About Steve. Yeah, that's bad.
Ha ha ha. Ah, crap.
That is bad. All About Steve is historically bad. Look, I know the tomatoes are either fresh or rotten, but All About Steve, that movie deserves no veggies of any kind, period.
Mark, we're still...
I'm gathering myself.
Okay.
Oh, it's so bad.
Steve!
Oh, Jesus, he's got a machete! Where the hell's he got a machete?
Well, Julia's going to take this round too. She certainly had some assistance from Steve, but I really went into this thinking their scores would be reflective of two people who won our hearts at the movies. If they did, it ain't on the Tomatometer. Point, round, Julia.
Holy shit!
Round 3, titled Going the Distance. And this is where Sandra Bullock begins her comeback. Who really wants it? This category is all about which actress covered more ground, tried harder, did whatever it takes to fall in love. Rom-coms make us believe that if you really love someone, no distance is too great to cover. Is it true? Probably not. But Sandra gave a hell of an effort. We mentioned her nuttiness in While You Were Sleeping. In the movie Practical Magic, she sent a leaf on a mission from Massachusetts all the way out to Arizona, and the guy got the message way out there. That's tough. Then the lake house. She has to put notes in a mailbox that time travel back and forth so that she can communicate with her boy Keanu Reeves. And then let's bring up All About Steve again, because why not? She stalks that guy all over the country, which coincidentally is how far I will go to avoid ever having to think about that film again.
Jesus, where do I begin? Hartman, for the love of God, stop tanning. You look like a cheese nip.
So Bullock has a big lead in this round, but Julia has some highlights. In The Mexican, she road trips with Brad Pitt to Mexico, Las Vegas, and in Duplicity, she jet sets to various exotic locations for Clive Owen. But none of those involve letters that time travel in a mailbox. So Sandra, you're on the board, you're back in the game, you're taking the round. Now we arrive at the wild card round. Julia's got a 2-1 lead, but our wild card round is who has the best romantic lines? Two very different styles in this round. Sandra Bullock does not beat around the bush. She's very blunt and to the point. Exhibit A, speed. She says,
Okay. We'll have to base it on sex then.
that's blunt. For something a little more rom-com-y, how about the famous song from Miss Congeniality? You think I'm gorgeous.
You want to kiss me.
You want to hug me. You wanna love me.
me. You want to hug me.
You want to smooch me. You want to... And I don't have a career anymore.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
Well played, Sandra. But it's nothing you're ever gonna see on a Hallmark card. Come on, we want some good romantic lines, which is why we get to Julia Roberts. Now, like Sandra, Julia can be pretty direct. Like in Pretty Woman, she says,
I appreciate this whole seduction scene you've got going, but let me give you a tip. I'm a sure thing.
we get it, Julia. But then she can also shift into memorable romantic comedy speech territory, if I may recite from Notting Hill. And don't worry, I'm not gonna sing this time. And don't forget, I'm also just
a girl standing in front of a boy.
asking him to love her. No Oscar? Julia wins the round. Not just for that speech, it's for this closer from Steel Magnolias.
I would rather have 30 minutes of wonderful than a lifetime of nothing special.
So there you have it. My pick for best rom-com queen of all time, Meg Ryan. Oh, Meg Ryan enters. Oh, we didn't see that coming. Come on, Sleepless in Seattle. You've got Mail, Joe versus the Volcano, Top Gun, In the Cut. Hey, not In the Cut. But Julia, you're really the winner. Julia Roberts wins. Julia, Sandra, because I know you're both watching, I'd say both you ladies have given us much more than 30 minutes of wonderful over your stellar careers. And this vid has been a few minutes of your life that you're never going to see again. But you can make it worth your while right now. You can vote. In the comment section right now, leave a comment. Tell us who you think is the all-time rom-com queen in your eyes. In your eyes, the light, the heat. I'm Mark Ellis. Come back for future episodes in your eyes.